Ah, such a nice day today. Wow. Look at the trees. Let's see, where should I put my whiteboard? I think I'll put it... There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let's see who's here early. Ocean Discovery, Kate June, Lauren Wilson, Small, Chris O, Michal Szejkowski. Welcome to all of my early members, as well as my moderator, Secretive33. Welcome. How are you guys all doing today? We're going to get started really soon. We'll start right at 2 o'clock. I'm just checking in, seeing how everyone's doing. We'll make a few announcements, and then we'll get right into the lesson. If you're going to be getting into the lesson today, so anyone can watch these lessons. Of course, they're always going to be free. Everyone can watch them. But if you want to be able to participate and follow along with today's lesson, you need to be at least an intermediate level. Or higher preferably, but at least an actually solid intermediate level. Because today's lesson, as it's in the title, or maybe if you're on mobile, I'm not sure. It's probably down here. It's advanced. Today's topic will be a legitimately advanced lesson. And you'll see that from the very first sentence, that if you're not at least an intermediate level, this will be over your head. But if you want to know, well, okay, I think I'm intermediate. Can I do this lesson? Well, make sure, first of all, you're really familiar with, like very comfortable with, not only understanding, but also using yourself, the because forms. 때문, 니까, 서. If you've only just learned these and you know how to understand them, but you can't use them yourself, this lesson is not for you. Also, you want to be really comfortable with passive voice. By that, I mean you want to know how passive voice works, what types of verbs are used with it, what it means in a sentence, because there are many sentences we're not going to be covering today, but they'll have passive voice in them. Oh, right from the beginning, I got a donator. Donator, why did I say that all weird? I got a donator. Welcome. Gabriella Asoza. Hello with the heart. Welcome. I don't know what 3R is. I'm just going to write 3R. Rubies, Russian dollars. I don't know what it is, but thank you. Get your dab. Everyone who donates, unless you say otherwise, will get a nice dab. And large donators also get dab parties. You'll see that is if you watch any of the other live streams. This will be hard for me, but when I watch, maybe I'll learn something else instead. I like using temune a lot. Yes. So yeah, anyone, no matter your level, feel free to follow along. Feel free to watch this lesson. But just know that if you feel like, I don't understand this lesson, if you're not an intermediate, don't worry about it. It's not supposed to be. This is not something you need as a beginner. This is not something you need to know at all as a beginner. But once you get past the intermediate level and you start having full conversations in Korean, you'll be able to say all of the basic things you want to say, but you won't be able to say them in the way that you want to say them. And that's when you start needing advanced grammar. So this is going to be an advanced grammar lesson about a few forms that are very commonly used. You'll find them used all over the place, but they're not something that you absolutely have to use to express basic things in Korean. Oh, I got a green donation. Let's see what that is. Grand. Gems, welcome. Watching with my 10-year-old daughter, Capri. Go, Billy. Nice. Thank you, Grand. Grand. Grants are, comes in here a lot. Drops donations. So we got to give Grant a special dab here. Hopefully this will bring back the patriotic feelings. Just a moment of silence for the wonderful nation of Korea. Bow your heads. Can you imagine if can you imagine if you just started doing that to like the national anthem somewhere? They're like, get out. All right. Yes, so we're going to get started in just a few minutes. We'll get started right at 2. I just started a few minutes early so we can have announcements. Again, this is an advanced lesson. So if you're not at least an intermediate, don't feel bad if you can't follow along. If you are intermediate, I hope that I can get some more intermediates here. I would like to be able to do more advanced topics. The reason I can't do so many advanced topics is because most people aren't advanced. Most people are still in the beginning level. But every once in a while, I like doing more advanced stuff. So hopefully, if you guys like this lesson, if there are people watching, if you guys like it, then maybe I can do more advanced lessons in the future. All right. Oh, Grandpa Miki. I keep saying Grandpa Miki. Miki first. Oh, hi, Grandpa Miki. Copyright claim. Grandpa Mikey. Thank you. Nice. Get some nice donations before I even started. It's the best time for donations because it doesn't interrupt the lesson. All right, Grandma Miki. Let's do a kimchi party. Oh, it's still 9 seconds left. Oh, let me turn that off. Thank you. Oh, Becca. Oh, we got a new member. Awesome, new members. New member, Becca. Welcome. And again, thank you, Grandpa Mikey. Becca. New member. Oops, let me rewrite that. I wrote it like the K I wrote it. It looks kind of like the Blair Witch Project logo. So let me rewrite that. All right, there we go. Thank you. Welcome. Let's see who else is here. Did I miss anyone else who said anything? No, that's all the members for now. Yeah. So hopefully we can do more advanced lessons in the future. I will be adding 5 new voting options tomorrow. 5, not 10, 5. So if there's a topic that you want me to cover for a future live stream that I haven't done yet, right now, well, not right now, I'm doing this lesson, but right now in the Discord or after this lesson finishes, message me, tell me, hey, Billy, you should do this topic. You haven't done it before. Do this topic, and I will do it. Basically, I'll add it to my voting options, and then you guys can pick which ones you want to get first. We'll eventually do all of them. That way we get to do, or else it'll only be like the beginning courses. But yeah, let me know which topics you want to do. I do take priority for members, but if there's not enough member requests, then I can take regular requests too. So yeah, let me know. The Discord link is, let's see if I can type it in here. DICORD. Okay, it'll take a few seconds, but it'll pop up. The bot is a bit slow sometimes. Oh, there we go. Oh, it was fast. Right when I was insulting the bot, it was actually fast this time. And yeah, you just click on there. It's free to join the Discord, and you can interact with everyone else here as well as a few hundred other fans. And yeah, and also someone asked, how do you become a member? It should just be a join button. If you don't have it in your country, I don't know what to tell you. There's also a Patreon page. If you are a Patreon member, you get access to all of my outlines and all of the worksheets that come with every single live stream. So for today's live stream, there's also a worksheet of, I believe, 10 more practice problems, which are actually even higher level than this. So like completely advanced level practice using the forms that we're going to be learning today. You can already download that right now. And the outline for today's live stream is going to be available as soon as this finishes within 30 minutes. So I guess that's all the announcements I have to make. Yeah. Yeah, just make sure to join the Discord for updates, and we will be doing 5 new topics for the vote tomorrow. So make sure to vote on that when it comes up tomorrow. Let's see. Good. So again, for today's lesson, you want to make sure that you are at least intermediate if you want to follow along, as well as know all of the forms for saying because. So 때문, 니까, 서. And you want to also be familiar with passive voice. So if you haven't seen passive voice, you're not too comfortable with how it works, then again, some of these sentences will be a bit over your head. We're going to be learning about actually several forms today. I'm not starting right now. I'll start at 2. I'm just letting you know. We're going to be learning about several forms today. We're not just going to be learning about one. Let me count. 4 major forms today. But technically there's 5. Depends on how you think about it. Let's see, if we reduce this really far down to just their base forms, then 2 main forms we're going to be learning about today. and then one little extra one at the end. But yeah, and then hopefully if we can finish this in time, we'll have a short Q&A afterward where you guys can ask whatever questions you have about the lesson or about anything related to Korean. Which number do we use in Discord to vote for future lessons? That will be on the YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube channel in the community tab, you'll see the votes are all there. But if you want to message me for a future lesson, you can send me a private message like on my username, or just say it in the, there's a To Staff channel. Oh, I see, you're asking which channel, not which number. Okay, well, yeah, clearly I'm a master of Discord. Yeah, so you simply go into these To Staff channel, and you can message there, or the live stream chat channel. Either one of those are fine. Maybe the live stream chat. I don't really care. Channels, it's pretty open. Lots of people are there just kind of practicing Korean, asking questions, and yeah, it's fairly active. Lynn Barsh, welcome, Lynn. Back with that Billy hat. Nice. Someone said, what means Haisa Sungong? I'm not sure what that is. I can't read it because it's written with English. If you can type it in Hangul, then I can read it for you and translate it for you probably. So, did you answer my question? What question? First time here, welcome. I'm just reading a few of the messages. We're going to start in 1 minute. I am really struggling to choose between Korean and Japanese. If you were to do it all again, well, I did both. So do whatever you want. There's no requirement, right? You're not being forced to learn one or the other, so pick one. Just do it. Do which one you want. It's easier to learn a language if you want to learn it. Like people who I know that speak foreign languages, or even Koreans who speak English, the ones that speak it the best, of course, are the ones who spent time in that country. But among the ones who haven't, so let's just take the people who are studying it, like doing self-study. They're all the ones that are the most interested in that language anyway. So pick the one you want the most. Pick which one do you want to speak. For me, it was Japanese until it was Korean. Yes, so let's get started. We're going to be learning about 2 major advanced forms today. And the first one is 의하면. And the way to use it is you take a noun and you attach 에, and then you conjugate the verb 의하다. 의하다 becomes here 의하면. Now, before we talk about exactly what this form means, I'm just going to tell you a basic translation for it is according to or by. But that's not it. What this is this 의하다 is a combination of a word 의, of course, and 하다. Wow, that's an amazing lesson, Billy. You're on fire. 의 is a Hanja word. So 의 is from Chinese. And the meaning of 의하다 is to lean on something. As in like literally, like I'm leaning on the board right now. But in that sense, literal sense of leaning, it also means like you're relying on something. Just like in English, like, you know, I'm leaning on that opportunity. I'm leaning on something, as in like you're relying on it, right? And another meaning of it could be also you're following it. So kind of like you're leaning on something literally, but by doing that, you're relying on it by leaning on it, and you're also following along with it. That's what 의하다 means. Now, you don't really need to know that. I just think it's a little interesting piece of information. So literally, though, if you think about it, 의하면. Now, I could tell you it just means according to or by, but I think if you understand the literal meaning, it might help you to understand its other usage, which we're going to be using soon in a different conjugation. Noun, 의하면. If you, literally, if you, 하면, lean, 의, on noun. If you rely on noun, or if you follow that noun, in that sort of sense. In that sense, let me say that again. In that sense, this means according to or by. As in like, well, if you rely on the rules, if you follow the rules, if you lean on the rules, according to the rules, by the rules, in that sense. Now, I don't think that lean on and rely and follow would be a good way to translate this form ever. But that's the literal meaning. And when we learn the next form and the one after that, this might help thinking about this to understand how that form actually is being used. But anyway, yeah, that's just the literal meaning. So yeah, this is, however, not very common in speech. This is mostly a formal and written form. Now, you definitely can use this when speaking. Well, let me just look at the chat for a second. Billy, did you learn Hanja? Yes, to an extent, a little bit. I would say I have studied it, but I know I do not know a lot of Hanja. I would know like at least a few hundred, at most 500. I wouldn't say anything beyond then. But yeah, this type of stuff, though, you don't need to learn how to read and write Hanja to get a lot of usage out of Hanja. I definitely know more than 500 Hanja by meaning. I probably know at least over 1,000 or so by the meaning. But by looking at it, no, I would only know a few hundred. So yeah, this one, I actually don't know what it looks like. I just know there is a Hanja, that means leaning or relying on or following something. Okay, so now this is only a formal or written expression. If you want to say this same thing in a more casual sense or in regular conversation, just use 때문에. Now, I know 때문에 means because, but basically what I'm saying is you don't want to use this at all, this form at all when you're doing regular speech. You simply would just use something else. Use like 때문에 or some other regular Korean form, but don't even try to use this form if you're trying to be casual, because this form is only formal or written. So if you're going to be giving a speech or you want to sound fancy, use this form. Otherwise, don't use it. This is not going to be the regular way that you're going to just be you're not going to be like having casual conversation with your friend and throw in something 의하면. It would just sound like really out of the place. Like, well, according to, like that. And we'll talk about how you can use this in a second. Let me just check here. Make sure I'm not musing here. Okay. Now, so when is this used? Now, I told you it does mean according to or by, but that's not everything about this form. This is specifically used most of the time with quoting. When you are quoting someone or quoting something. By that I mean you actually will use quoting forms. So that would be something like 한다고, something with 고. You'll see 고 used a lot with quoting forms. This doesn't have to be used this way, but most of the time it tends to get used with quoting. So according to that person, well, that person says such and such and such, cool. Or according to the rules say such and such, cool, like that. You don't have to. You could simply say, according to the rules, this is this. This is a certain way. But most of the time it tends to get used with quoting forms. So if you want to know how is this form going to sound the most natural, that will be with quoting or something that would be a quote. Another thing to keep in mind is that whenever you're using this, you can say according to such and such, it says this, or according to such and such, this. The sentence will always end with the present tense or the like soon future tense, like you're going to do something. This will always end with the present tense. It will never end with the past tense or another tense like that. You're never going to say, according to the rules, I did this. By the rules, I did this. At least not with this form. You would use a different form if you really wanted to say something like that in English. This form is only used with the present tense in the end. Now, you can use past tense plus future tense. Anyway, you can use past tense or whatever tense you want within the quote. Of course, according to the rules say he did not, or no, that doesn't make any sense. According to the newspaper says he did that. Well, still it ends in present tense. The newspaper says. So this is only used with present tense ending sentences. So quotes that end with the present tense, not that end with the past tense. So the very end of your sentence will always be the present tense or some form of present tense, but not the past tense. Okay. That's the only details that you have to know about this form. So let's go ahead and do an example. And normally whenever I teach a form, I'll give like a super basic example of it so you can see how it's used. Not today. Because it's an advanced lesson, we're not going to waste our time with that. First of all, 일기예보 news report, weather report, 일기 weather 예보 report. So 일기예보에 의하면. So literally, if you follow, if you rely on. 의면, not 의면. I shouldn't be speaking English while I'm trying to write Korean. 의하면. So according to the weather forecast. According to the weather forecast. Actually, I can give you this sentence, but why don't you guys try to use it yourself? Why don't you guys try to use it yourself? Give me something. Give me a sentence. What would you say? Try to write something. If you're not at least intermediate, don't worry about it. Don't even try it. Don't even try it, please. Save my eyes. No, I'm just joking. Don't bother trying it if you're not at least intermediate because you might not be able to get it. But, feel free. Don't let me tell you what to do. 일기예보에 의하면. So let me finish the sentence, but you keep writing what you want, and I'm going to check it after I write this. Okay, I'll point that out just so I can mention it later. Let's see what you guys have. Hanta, yes. And Grant, don't worry, you could totally answer questions if people have them here. Feel free. As long as it's related to the lesson, nothing wrong with it. 무슨 소리야 이거? 난 바보야 지금. All right. Okay. According to this, yes. 일기예보에 의하면 폭죽이 물 아침. Right, small with the fancy words. 일기예보에 의하면 내일 비가 올 거예요. Okay, similar to what I have. Start raining a lot tomorrow. 일기예보에 의하면 주말에 비가 올게요, not 올게요. 게요 is when it's someone doing something for someone else, but here rain doesn't do anything for someone else. It has to be a person that's doing an action with that. So it would not be 올게요, but 올 거예요. 올 거예요. 비가 올 거예요. 내일은 날씨가 따뜻할 거예요. Okay. 애기 외면 의상을 사야 돼요. I have to buy the relying on the thing. I have to buy an umbrella. It would be something related to what they said. Remember, it's most often used with some sort of quote. So it's according to in the sense that what they said. 내일 비가 올 거예요. All right. 태풍. You have a typo there, Alice. It's you wrote 태풍, but it's 태풍. I think that's just small typo. 나올 겁니다. Also 나올 겁니다. 저는 지금 무서워요. Okay? 올 거예요. Nice. Okay. 엄마에 의하면 아침 먹어야 돼. No, this is not used in casual sentences like that. Even if it makes sense, it will sound awkward if you use this in regular sentences. This is used for quoting, whether you're directly giving a quote or you're just saying something that someone said or something says. It's not just using according to this, well, this is a certain way. It's not a regular way to state something. It's more of a quoting form. Oh, Lynn, I can't stay today. Oh, no. Well, it's like Seinfeld. Oh, no. Why can't you stay? I need to get back to work, but I always appreciate being able to watch late. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. I still got some room to write your name here. I got to do a dab. Thank you. Okay, so let's do this sentence. Too bad you can't stay, but hopefully you can watch this again later. All right. 일기예보에 의하면. So, literally, if you lean on the 일기예보, the weather forecast, if you rely on the weather forecast, well, if you rely on it, let's just say you rely on it, okay? Well then, 내일부터, from tomorrow, 큰, big, 비가 내릴 거예요. Notice, you can use future tense when it's not a quote. I only said when it's a quote, it has to be present tense. So, let's look at this for a second. If you were to use it in a quote, you can get something like 큰 비가 내린다고 해요. But you could not say 했어요. although in English it sounds okay, according to the news, they said it's raining, or 내릴 거라고 했어요. They said it's raining. That's not how this form is used naturally. It is only used with the present tense for the end of the quote. So 내린다고 해요, or 내릴 거라고 해요, or something like that. 내렸다고, it did rain already, something like that, but it has to be used in the present tense. So here it's just 내릴 거예요. Let me write the 거예요 down here. Okay. 일기예보에 의하면, according to the weather forecast, 내일부터 큰 비가 내릴 거예요. A large rain will fall, or a lot of rain will fall. According to the weather forecast, a lot of rain is going to fall. In that sort of sense. And now this sentence has a very formal, written feel to it. Although, koyo is more of a spoken form. This would be like a speech or something like that. An announcement that someone's making to be polite. This would not be the regular like your friend walks up to the street and is like, hey, according to the news, it's going to rain tomorrow. Then your friend like suddenly would sound like he's some weather reporter or something like that. So just keep in mind, this is a formal written form. Okay. Next sentence. And hopefully you'll kind of get to see that when we look at some more sentences. This was just one easy sentence. I'll say that. This was just an easy sentence, kind of the primer, right? 대한민국, of course, is Korea, but that's the full name of Korea. Well, not the full name, but a longer name for the Republic of Korea. 대한민국, 헌법. 헌법 is the constitution. So 대한민국 헌법에 의하면. So according to Korea's constitution, 제1조 1항. Oh, actually, no. I was like, wait, I started reading it. Like, wait a minute. No. I wrote it wrong. It's like, that doesn't make any sense what I wrote. 제법. Okay, there we go. I was like, I started writing 의하면, but I'm like, wait, no. According to its constitution, no, because that part comes later. Okay. 제1. So 제 would be the marking the first, second, third, that sort of thing. 제1 is first. So first section, first article. There we go. Now, 의하면. So according to Korea's constitution, section 1, article 1. 대한민국은 sorry, not much room there. And then we have 민주공화국, a democratic republic. 공화국 is republic. 민주 is democrat. So democratic republic. 이에요. There we go. Okay. This looks really ugly. Let's redo that. 대한민국 헌법 제1조 1항에 의하면 대한민국은 민주공화국이에요. So, Korea, 대한민국, 헌법, constitution, 제1조, first section, 1항, first article에 의하면, according to Article 1, Section 1, that sort of thing. According to Article 1, Section 1 of the Korean Constitution, according to that, by that, 대한민국은, Korea is, 이에요, 민주공화국, a democratic republic. So, 대한민국 헌법 제1조 1항에 의하면 대한민국은 민주공화국이에요. According to Korea's Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Republic of Korea is a democratic republic. That's a mouthful. Look at it for a second. I'm going to erase it and we'll do another example. So I want you to see this is the type of sentence you find 의하면 in. You're not going to find it in like, according to the rules, you lost, or like something like that. It's going to be a formal sentence. You're going to find it in more formal written style writing. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Let's do another one. Okay. 관계자에 의하면 관계 is a relationship. 자, most of the time you see 자, it's just going to be a person. So here it's a relationship person, or here it's the person who is concerned, the person who is related, the person who's involved. So let's say the person who's concerned. 관계자에 의하면. So according to the person who's concerned with whatever we're talking about, according to the person who's concerned, 이번이, this time, 이번이 처음. 처음 is the beginning. 처음 is the first time. First time, it's a noun. 처음이 아니라고 해. Let's put the 해 there. Okay, so here we have a quoting form. 고, 해. Again, present tense only, never the past tense. Let's see, why does this show? I have no idea. YouTube's showing me like 14 people are watching. I don't think so. There we go, 79. Why does it show me 14 people are watching? That's so sad. Let me check the chat for a second. Rachel asked, this is mostly good for understanding news broadcasts and articles. Yes, this would be more like a formal news broadcast article form, which is why it's an advanced form. So you'll see it though used a lot, but it's always a formal form that it's used. It's always a formal, it's always used in a formal situation, never used in casual situations. It sounds way too formal. 관계자에 의하면. According to the person involved, or according to whoever was involved with the situation, 이번이 처음이 아니라고 해. So the person involved said, 아니라고 해, that 이번이 처음이 아니라고. This time is not the first. So according to the person concerned, this was, or this is not the first time. So like they said it's not the first time is pretty much, this could be like, you know, some sort of case. You're listening to information about a case. According to the first person, this was not the first time this had happened. That sort of thing. Like maybe there was some event, some bad event that had happened. And then they go ask the person involved. And 관계자에 의하면 이번이 처음이 아니라고 해. Although if this was a news broadcast, you'd probably have 합니다 at the end. But this is just an example. Oh yeah, I should make that point. If you guys are thinking that formal means not casual, as in 반말, that's not what this means. This is formal as in fancy formal, as in it will match with formal style language. Not that you cannot use this in casual speech, but casual speech, this would not be the casual speech that you use with your friends. If you're intermediate, that might make a little bit more sense. But 반말 does not mean only used with your close friends. Neither does formal speech mean only used with your boss. It's the style of speaking, and sometimes you can be using different types with different people as well. Maybe I could do like a live stream about how you can kind of mix them in the future. But yeah, so this sort of usage, although formal, actually is fine ending in here if it was going to be something that someone is saying in a formal style, but in a casual situation. Who's that? Carrie! Billy, I get paid this week. Nice! I haven't got paid since 2014, I think, since my last job. Thank you. But today is payday. Thanks to you, Carrie. Sweet. I get paid this week, so give you more next night. You don't have to pay me, but thank you. I appreciate it. You deserve a lot. You're awesome. Thank you. Let me do a nice dab. While I'm doing a dab, check out this sentence again. Okay. Gotta get the star dab. All right. I think the harp stopped playing like a minute ago. Yeah, that's the thing that's tricky about politeness levels is you learn that politeness levels are depending on who you're talking to, but then later in the intermediate level you start learning no, it doesn't matter who you're talking to as much. Well, it does, but it also matters just as much who you're talking about. So you might say something like honorific speech with your friend, like 엄마는 지금 집에 안 계셔. So you're saying 엄마, which is obviously a casual word because you're talking with your friend, but you're saying 집에 안 계셔, 계시다, honorific term about your mom, but then you're using it in 반말, 계셔, 집에 안 계셔. And that sounds totally natural. It sounds totally natural. So honorific, politeness levels, all that stuff isn't so much just about who you're talking with, although it is, of course, that too. And if you're always polite to the person you're talking with, you at least won't be rude. But that's not what it is. It's really who exactly you're talking about. And I actually made a lesson about politeness levels for my new series. It's very basic though. It's not going to be going much beyond there. But it was really hard to make a nice lesson that kind of introduces that. Like, yes, you talk polite with people you're talking to, but that's not the purpose. It's not so much to show respect to the person you're talking to. Some endings do, but it's more of who are you talking about. And when you're asking questions, you're talking about the person you're speaking with. But when you're talking about someone else, well, you should be polite to them too. So honorifics and polite speech aren't so clear on exactly, I shouldn't say that. They're not so, it's not so simple exactly when to use which and when do you not use another one. And this type of thing, so you see these type of things. So I say it's a formal form for written, but obviously, hey is not a formal form. It's not used in, well, it could be used in writing, but it's not a formal, what you normally associate with formal form. But this could be something that you would speak to someone who you would normally use 반말, polite speech with, someone who you oversee, someone who's the same level as you and you're close with or younger. Doesn't have to be a close buddy friend, but you're still speaking to them in a formal manner. Anyway, that would be a whole different live stream to go into different types of politeness level. But I don't think you really need a huge live stream on that sort of stuff. I think it's more of just something that you can learn through experience, because there are a lot of niche situations. Like what level would you use in this case when you're talking with, your brother-in-law, right? Who would be really close to you. What about if your brother-in-law is older than you? What if your brother-in-law is younger than you, right? How close are you with them? There's all this stuff you have to consider. And I think while I could do like a lesson on that type of stuff, I think you'd really get more out of simply being in that situation and learning which one would be useful for you, because there's a lot of exceptions. Like people will often tell you to speak differently because you're not a Korean. You also get that. And it wouldn't be correct for me to say this is the right way to speak in this situation, because there are a lot of exceptions to that sort of thing. So yeah, it's one of those things that, yeah, you can learn about in a book, but it's better to learn it through actual experiences. Okay. Now that I've wasted plenty of time talking about that, let's do one more sentence. Anyway, I hope that you'll see though by now that this form is pretty straightforward as far as at least understanding it. So at least if you see it, you'll be able to understand clearly what it means and what it implies. 목격 is a witness. 목격하다 is to witness something directly. 목격. 목격자. Here we have 자 again. Remember I said 자 is a Hanja word for a person who does something. 목격. Person who witnesses. Well, what do you think that would mean? Witness. This is a witness. So in a crime scene, the movie with Harrison Ford, Witness, right? That movie was probably called 목격자. Anyway, actually, I'm not sure. It might be something else. 목격자, 증, on. Since this is an advanced stream, I will be talking a little bit about Hanja. Hope you guys don't mind. 증언 is testimony. Now, 증 is 증인, a confirmation of something. on is words. 언어, spoken language. 증언. So a verbal confirmation of something. A testimony of something. Like I saw it happen. That is my witness testimony. 목격자 증언에 의하면. So according to the testimony of the witness, 잘못, so the mistake, the error, the fault, 잘못은 상대방. 상대방 is the other person or other party. The other party, the other person involved. So the other person, 상대방. This is a normal Korean word. You probably already know this. 에게 있어요. So, according to the testimony of the witness, 목격자 증언에 의하면 잘못은, the fault, 상대방에게 있어요. Literally, the fault is to the other party, or more naturally, the other party is at fault. 목격자 증언에 의하면 잘못은 상대방에게 있어요. 목격자 증언에 의하면 잘못은 상대방에 있어요. I said 상대방에. It's a person. It needs to be 상대방에게. Sorry. That's why I probably shouldn't write it like this. 목격자 증언에 의하면 잘못은 상대방에게 있어요. So again, according to the testimony of the witness, 목격자 증언에 의하면 the fault, 잘못은 상대방에게 있어요. The fault lies with the other party. So basically the witness is like, no, it's their fault. According to the testimony of a witness, the fault lies with the other party. Or just literally the fault is to, which means the other party has fault. Now, whenever you're saying something, I should give a note about that. You might think this is strange usage in case you're seeing person에게 있어요. This is actually the normal usage that you always are making anytime you use 있다 to say have. So anytime you're saying 저는 있어요, like 저는 돈이 있어요, I have money. 저는 돈이 있어요. What you're actually saying is 저에게. Literally, 저에게 돈이 있어요. But you're missing that 에게 part because it's not necessary. Instead, you're just cutting it down and saying, as for me, well, yes, there is money, to mean there is money to me. 저에게 있어요. 저한테 있어요. There is money to me. That's what you're literally saying. So this is actually a literal use. This is not a strange usage of 에게. In case you're wondering, what is that 에게? How do I use this? Like, it is to the other party? Well, yeah, it is to the other party, but that's also the literal normal way that you say you have something anyway. You're saying 빌리에게 돈이 있어요. 빌리에게 돈이 없어요. There is money to Billy. There is no money to Billy, literally, but that means Billy has or has not any money. Or doesn't have, I guess. Okay. 목격자 증언에 의하면 잘못은 상대방에게 있어요. So according to the testimony of a witness, the fault lies with the other party. Okay, that's all these sentences with this 의하면, but we're not done with 의하다. We've got another form we need to use. Now, this next form is very similar. This is 의해서. 의해서. And this can have two different meanings, whether it's in passive or active voice. I should say, though, most of the time, you're going to see this used in passive voice. But know that this form is actually itself not that common. Because passive voice in Korean is not that commonly used. There are times when you need to use passive voice in Korean, such as whenever you're doing passive voice as an adjective. You have to use passive voice. There are times when you'll want to say passive voice when you're reporting on something. You want to have a formal sound to your speech, to what you're saying. Other than that, in your regular conversations, you don't need to ever use passive voice. So just keep that in mind. Passive voice in Korean is not so common, except when you really need to do it. And the only times you need to do it are when you're sounding like you're reporting something, which is when this form can get used. And this form can translate as either due to or by. When it's used as passive voice, most of the time, it'll sound better as due to. If it's used with active voice, due to won't make any sense. Oh, sorry, by won't make any sense. Due to will be the only one that makes sense if it's used in active voice. But really, this isn't a big deal for translating. Just know it's either due to or by, whichever one sounds better in the sentence. But if you're wondering, most of the time with passive voice, either of these will work. And in active voice, only due to will sound correct. By will kind of sound wrong in active voice. But that's just translating into English. This is not the actual meaning of the form changing. Also, let's say here, okay, the object of passive voice. Okay, and also when you're doing passive voice, this is the exact same as something else. This 의해 or 의해서, the 서 is optional, is the exact same thing as marking the marking the thing or whatever that did the passive verb with a. So normally when you use a passive verb and you want to mark what did it, you would use a. If you were marking a person did it, you would use 에게. This 에, when marking a thing that did the passive verb. Sorry, I'm trying to getting my words messed up because I'm trying to think what would you call it? The thing, not the person, place, or thing. It's not a noun, but the specifically place or thing. The place or thing that did that verb in a passive sentence. So the thing that did that passive verb is marked with 에. And this 에 normally by itself, without 의해서, already means due to or by. So you can say the world is controlled by robots or whatever. And you can use by, 에, 로봇 에. And then you would use to be controlled, which is a passive verb. To be controlled. 통제되다. 통제되다. So to be controlled by literally is, this by is already a by itself. And you probably have seen that before if you've learned passive voice. And I think I've talked about that also in my passive voice lesson. This is the exact same thing. This is the full form. This a is just a shorter version of it. This 의해 is simply to make it more clear that now you are marking that as the thing that is doing the passive verb. So it's same thing as this. But just know that you can also use 의해 when it's not in a passive sentence. Though most of the time it will be, if it is used at all, but it can also be used in any order, any sort of sentence, just to mean due to or by. So you can also see this in regular sentences as meaning due to or by. Doesn't have to be in a passive sentence, but most of the time it will be in a passive sentence. And finally, before I give you a sentence about this, you might also see, although we're not going to be doing any examples of it, 의한. This is the exact same meaning as this, but when it's used as an adjective before a noun. So if you were to have noun, 에, 의한, then it would be followed by another noun, like that. This is the exact same usage, just when it's used as an adjective. So if you wanted to say a noun that is due to noun, well, that's how you would say it. But we're not going to be doing examples of this, and this isn't even that common either. But we will be doing lots of examples of this one. So let's do our first example. Just letting you know it's the exact same thing. The only difference is the same thing as the usage difference between saying something like saying something like 위해 and 위한. It's the exact same difference as that. When you use 해 for an adverb, when you're using it with a verb or whatever, and 한 when you're using it to be before a noun, so as an adjective. Okay, so let's do our first sentence, which actually is a world controlled by robots. 로봇에 의해. It could be 의해 or 의해서. It's the exact same meaning. So, by robots or due to robots. Well, we're just going to say by robots because it's used in passive voice. And it'll usually sound better to say by. 통제되다 is normally how you say to be controlled. 통제하다 is to control. So 통제되다 is the passive version. 통제되는, that is controlled. Well, what is controlled? 세상, the world or a world. 세상. So 통제되는 세상, a world that is controlled by robots. 로봇에 의해. 통제되는 세상을 상상해 봤어요. 로봇에 의해 통제되는 세상을 상상해 봤어요. 로봇에 의해 통제되는 세상, a world that is controlled, 로봇에 의해, by robots. 로봇에 의해 통제되는 세상을 상상해 봤어요. I imagined a world controlled by robots. That sort of meaning. 로봇에 의해 통제되는 세상을 상상해 봤어요. Okay, I'll leave this up for a second. Let me check the chat. 에 의한. Yeah, you can also see 의한. Daily Dallas, thank you. 엄마에 의해서 음식이 준비되었어요. No, because like I said, it's only for things. It's not for people. People, you can use just 에게. But you don't need to use that anyway, because like I said, passive voice is not, oops, I just kicked the tripod out here. The passive voice is not needed in Korean most of the time. But if you need to, you can use 에게, literally to. But that's how you say by when it's used as passive, to say that somebody did it by a person, 에게. Objects are 에, so you could not say 엄마에 의해. That would be wrong, because 에 is only used for people. Sorry, 에 is never used for people. 에 is only used for things or places, like that. Just check the error quality here. Whoa! Becca also joined my Patreon, I see. Wow. I'll send you a nice thank you message later. All right. So, one more time. 로봇에 의해 통제되는 세상을 상상해 봤어요. So I imagined 상상해 보다. A world controlled by or ruled by 통제되는 세상. By robots. 로봇에 의해. Now, you could have also said 로봇에 통제되는 세상. But this makes it more clear that it is by a robot, due to robots. Now, this longer form makes it a lot more clear that you're saying the robots are the one that are doing the controlling. Whereas if you just use 로봇에, it could be a bit vague, depending on the sentence. By robots. 로봇에 통제되는, yeah, okay, what robot? You might kind of wondering, like, to robots, and then you hear the sentence, you're like, oh, okay, by robots. But this longer sentence makes it much more clear that you're marking it as the doer of that passive verb here. So, especially it also gives that more of a formal, longer, fancy sounding feel to it. So yes, while just 에 has the same meaning, 에 의해 makes it a lot more clear, longer, and fancier sounding, which is why this is better for this sort of thing. Okay, let's do another example. So far, we've only been doing 의하다, so we'll do another form too next, but we got a few more sentences with 의하다 first. 바다, ocean. 바다에 빠진 강아지. 빠지다 has a few meanings, but here, 빠지다 means to fall in. Fell. So the 강아지 that fell, past tense, 빠지다, 빠진 바다에, in the ocean, in the sea. So the puppy or dog that fell into the ocean, 가, was rescued by the Coast Guard. So we're going to say Coast Guard first. So 해경, 해경에 의해, 해경에 의해, by the 해경, 해, ocean, 경, like police. So literally sea police, but that's how you call the Coast Guard. 해경, 해경에 의해 구조되다. 구조, save, to be saved. 구조되었어요. or 됐어요. Okay, so 바다에 빠진 강아지가, the dog that fell into the ocean, 가 해경, Coast Guard, 해경에 의해, by the Coast Guard, or due to the Coast Guard, 구조되었어요, was saved, or was rescued. So the dog that fell into the ocean was saved by the Coast Guard. 바다에 빠진 강아지가 해경에 의해 구조되었어요. 구조되었어요. So 바다에 빠진 강아지가 해경에 의해 구조되었어요. So the dog that fell into the ocean was saved by the Coast Guard. Let's do one more. Yeah, two more. 동굴, cave, 동굴에서, so at the cave, something's going to happen. 실종, 실종 means disappear. 실종, like someone disappeared, went missing. 실종된, 실종되다, to go missing. So here, that went missing at the cave. Well, 학생, the student, in this case though, there's actually three students. 세 명이. So, three students, 학생 세 명이. 실종된 학생 세 명이. The three students that went missing 동굴에서, at the cave or in the cave. 동굴에서 실종된 학생 세 명이. Well, 경찰, police, 에 의해, by the police. 발견 is discovery. So 발견, what is this going to be? Just think about this for a second. Is this going to be 했어요 or 됐어요? 학생 3명이. 발견했어요 would be they discovered. But here it's was discovered by. So 됐어요. 발견됐어요. So 동굴에서 실종된 학생 3명이 3 students who went missing in the cave 경찰에 의해 by the police 발견됐어요. So the 3 students who went missing at the cave were discovered 발견됐어요 by the police 경찰에 의해. Again, you can use 에 의해 with anything or any place, not with a actual person. Now, 경찰 is more of an idea of police. It's not an actual person. If you were to say a person's name here, like 경찰 아저씨, you could not say 경찰 아저씨에 의해 because now you have 아저씨, you have an actual person there, whereas here just 경찰 is just like the police in general, you know, like Sting in the police, that sort of thing. 동굴에서 실종된 학생 3명이 경찰에 의해 발견됐어요. So the 3 students who went missing in the cave were discovered 발견됐어요. The 3 students by 경찰에 의해, by the police. Okay. One more sentence. Okay, I think this marker is about, this eraser is about ready to go. 해커, hacker, 해커. 한 명. 에 의해. Here we have hacker. Again, a title. A title is fine, not an actual person, which is why I'm just bringing this back because someone had made a sentence using 엄마. That's the actual person. Or like an 아저씨, like that, an actual person. 해커 is just a regular title. So someone who does hacking. That's okay. 해커 한 명에 의해. So one hacker, by one hacker. 한 명, one person. 해커 한 명에 의해. So by a hacker, by a single hacker. 은행, bank. 전산망. 전상망. 전상망 is the network, like your computer network. 전상망. 이 뚫렸어요. First of all, 뚫리다 is to be penetrated. And it's metaphorically or physically, but here it's by a computer network was penetrated. So 뚫렸어요. So you can say 전상망이 뚫렸어요. The network, the computer network or whatever, was penetrated by 해커 한 명에 의해. By one hacker. 은행, the bank's 전상망, the bank's computer network, by one hacker, 뚫렸어요, was penetrated. So the bank's computer network was penetrated by one hacker. By, or even due to, is probably okay to translate it as. Due to one hacker, sure. By, though, will usually sound better in a passive sentence, but either one. 해커 한 명에 의해 은행 전상망이 뚫렸어요. So the bank's computer network was penetrated by 해커 한 명에 의해, by one hacker. Okay, let me check the chat for just a minute. Yeah, I was the hacker. The hacker known as whatever. Yeah. No, I actually wrote these sentences back Wednesday, I think. Yeah. Back on Wednesday. I haven't gone outside in a long time. So I don't know what's going on. It's just a coincidence. Okay. Yeah. Grand James. 됐어요 is just contracted form of 되었어요. That's right. 실종된 학생 3명이 nice. 경찰에 nice. You're writing out the pronunciation. Yeah, that's nice. Kate June the hacker. Did I write? Oh, did I write it wrong? Oh, I did. I even spelled. I was like, okay. Yeah, I wrote it correctly on my paper here, 전산. I think I wrote 전상망 because I was thinking of the mang. Sorry. Thank you for catching that. Who caught that? Grant. 역시. Nice. Okay, let's do this again because I got to edit this video later, so I don't want to have an error in it. Okay. So, pretending like nothing ever happened. Here's our brand new sentence, guys. 해커 한 명에 의해. Due to or by one hacker. 해커 한 명. 해커 한 명에 의해 by one hacker. 은행 전산망이. I'm going to still say it wrong anyway. 은행, you can totally tell I use this word all the time, right? 은행 전산망이 뚫렸어요. So the bank's 전산망, computer network. Well, what happened to it? Here we're going to have a passive verb after. 뚫리다 is to be penetrated. So 뚫렸어요. The network, the computer network, the bank's computer network was penetrated by one hacker. 해커 한 명에 의해 은행 전산망이 뚫렸어요. All right, sounds better to say 전산망 anyway. I was like, it felt weird. Like something was weird about that. But yeah, I see. I wrote it down. I can't even copy what I wrote down correctly. 전산망. Thank you. But thanks for catching that, or I would have had to like write something on the editor later tonight. And I'd be like, why didn't I tell everyone that? It's wrong. Like hit myself in the head. Because I can't just re-upload a live stream video. Okay. Now let's go to our next form. It's different. Completely different. We're done with 의하다. Now we're going to go to 인하다. 인하다. Now, this is not used as 인하다. I'm just writing it down as 인하다 for right now. 인 is actually another 한자. So before we had 의, which is like leaning on, relying on, following. Well, now we have 인. 인 literally means the reason for something. It's the Chinese character that means like the reason why. This actually is used in a few other words. 원인, as in the cause. Also catalyst. Like what got something to start? What caused something to happen? The reason for it. The original, the first catalyst for something to happen. The reason. Anyway, that's what in means. You don't really need to know that though, I think. It's just kind of fun. This 인하다 though is more related to a cause and effect. As in like because. So before we had due to, as in like it is due to that, it is by that, with passive verbs. This, however, is not. This is the same meaning in English, due to. But it's not the same due to as by. That's why I want you to keep in mind that this is the reason, and 의하다 is not for showing it's by, it's because of something, but 의하다 is just more for showing according to something or by something. This is the actual reason. So this is the word due to, because of, like that sense, or as a result of. Due to or as a result of. Hacker is a title. That's right. Hacker is a way of life. I don't know. I don't actually know any hackers. Okay. So yeah, this is more of the cause and effect of something. So something happens or something is a certain way due to something. Literally, noun-으로. With or using that noun. Reason for using that noun is, well, as this noun, using the reason of that, it doesn't quite make sense literally, but you only need to know that it means due to or as a result of. So with the reason of this noun. This is going to be used in two different forms. The first form it's going to be in is 인해서. Okay, I think this, after I write the next sentence, I'm going to replace this. And again, 서 is optional. 인해서. And this does mean also due to or as a result of. So let me write down the first sentence. me. 저로. And I should also say that 인하다 is also a bit of a formal form. So you're not going to be using this in casual talk with your friends, but it's fine for any other situation if you want to sound fancy. So 저로 인해. As a result of me, or due to me. Due to me. The cause, making the cause me, that sort of meaning. So with me as the cause, 이런, this kind, 이런 일이 생겼다니. Now, anytime you see 다니, it's going to be some sort of emotional reaction after something happened. To think that sort of 이런 일, this sort of thing happened because of me, due to me, as a result of me, due to me. To think that such a thing happened as a result of me, this will always be followed by some sort of emotion. 다니, it's just a different form. I think my book has it. I don't have a video about it yet though. 정말 죄송합니다. So to think that sort of thing happened because of me, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this sort of thing happened due to me. 저로 인해 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. 저로 인해 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. To think such a thing happened because of me, due to me, as a result of me. 저 is our noun. 저로 인해 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. Really, I'm really sorry. That sort of meaning. 저로 인해 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. Okay, I'm going to leave this up on the board for a second, and I'm going to replace the eraser, because this eraser is really bad. Let's get a new one. Okay, new eraser. Just check the chat for a second. 인하다. Yeah, anytime you have, it's a good point. Anytime you have the hiat before or after any consonant, without, except the base consonants, in which case it would become strong, but any consonant in which it would not normally make that consonant into a strong consonant, and I have a video about which ones do and which ones don't, it disappears most of the time. And at the very least, it'll almost disappear. So it'll either completely disappear or almost completely disappear. So this would not be 인해, unless you're speaking slowly. 저로 인해. If you're speaking slowly, 인해. If you're speaking normal speed, 저로 인해. No, it's not quite 인해. It's not the exact same thing as 인해, but it's almost the exact same thing as 인해. It's there, but it's very, very toned down. 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. 저로 인해 would be spoken more smoothly. 저로 인해 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. Even here, 죄송합니다. You're not saying 죄송합니다. You could say 죄송합니다. But it's fine to kind of almost completely remove it. So that's just a pronunciation thing that James is talking about in the chat. 죄송 not 조? Wait, what? Oh, did you say something? Oh, I missed it. I missed something. Oh, thank you. I was like, what are you talking about? I said 죄송합니다. It's because I wrote 조. See, I need a grant in all my lessons to make sure I'm writing things correctly. Because when I'm speaking while writing, I write down sometimes weird mistakes that I'm like not even paying attention to them because I'm just like copying off my pre-written notes that I prepared, and I'm like, okay, and then I'm explaining it, and I don't even check sometimes. All right, so let's do this again. 저로 인해. So due to me, 이런 일, this kind of thing, this kind of event, this kind of happening. 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. So I'm really sorry to think that such a thing happened because of me. I'm really sorry that this kind of thing happened because of me or due to me as a result of me. So 인하다, again, being cause. The cause of something. So as in cause and effect. 저로 인해 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. 저로 인해 이런 일이 생겼다니 정말 죄송합니다. I'm so sorry that such a thing happened due to me. I'm so sorry, Grant, that such a thing happened because of me. Okay, let's go on. All right. Yeah, my spelling. Spelling. It's okay. I don't even feel bad because really my spelling's even worse in English. My writing is just atrocious in general. In English, I write so fast because I've been writing books since I was at least, I can remember 4, writing like random stuff. So yeah, my writing is just really fast and really gross. And Korean, it's legible, but it's kind of like my English switched over into Korean. So anyway, the next one we're going to learning about is 인한. 인한. Same form, but now it's used as an adjective. So 인한, something else. And this has the exact same meaning, due to or as a result of. But since it's being used as an adjective, you get more of the meaning of something, this noun, that is due to, or something that is a result of. And this due to here, whatever comes here, would be the noun. So you have noun plus 으로, just like before. 인한, whatever. And this is the exact same thing, just now it's used as an adjective. So that is due to. This thing that is due to this noun. This thing that is a result of this noun. That sort of meaning. Other than that, those same meaning, just used as an adjective. So let's do an example of this. Okay, I'll try to write this slower so I don't have another weird typo. 스트레스. So stress. 스트레스에 의한. Now I'm saying this 의한. People don't say 의한 when they talk. 의한, 의한, 의한. Almost like that. 스트레스에 의한 불면증. 불면증입니다. 불면증. 불, not, 면, sleep, 증, syndrome, not sleep syndrome, insomnia. So it is, 입니다, insomnia, that is due to, sorry, wait. Okay, I didn't, This time it's not a typo from me. This time it was a typo on my sheet. Although if you wrote stress A, they'd totally get that too. Anyway, 스트레스로 인한 불면증이에요. 불면증입니다. 이다, 이야, whatever. It is insomnia. That is due to 인한, stress. 스트레스로 인한 불면증입니다. It is insomnia due to stress. So yes, the doctor's writing the form and the doctor's talking to you. Yes, well, it's insomnia as a result of stress. 스트레스로 의한 불면증이에요. Like that. 스트레스로 의한 불면증입니다. Okay. Now, we're not done. I just want to give a few examples of how you'd use 로 인하다 because it is not the same form as 의하다, but many people confuse 의하다 with 인하다 because they sound quite similar. And they both can translate to due to, right? We learned that they can both translate as due to. But you can see that even though they can translate the same in English, they're not the same meaning. Because this is more like due to as in the cause of, something caused something, whereas 의하다 is due to in the sense of that is what did that passive verb. That is what did something in passive, but this is not a passive usage. So similar translations in English, but not the same thing. So you can't just swap this with 의하다, 의한. Sorry, you can't just swap this with, wait a minute. No. Did I totally write down the wrong one? I know what happened. Okay, so I did write it down correctly. I moved this sentence. This sentence was from above. I wrote this sentence for the previous part. There we go. Okay. Let's just take a step back, everyone. This was originally this was my mistake, but not a typo. And then I wrote it down as a typo. But actually what it was is this was actually supposed to be for the previous form because it's 의하다. I'm like, wait, we just did 인하다. 의한. This sentence is fine as a. I need to like reverse the last 5 minutes of this live stream. So just click reverse. If you're watching this live stream, just go back 5 minutes, pretend that never happened, please. We're going to be looking at this sentence, but know that this is actually for our previous form. The reason is I actually wrote this sentence down as an example of using 의한, and then I forgot to move it up there when I wrote it at the bottom of my lesson. So I wrote the sentence, I sent it to my wife. I'm like, is this sentence good? She's like, yep, it's good. And I forgot to move it to its correct section. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait, this is not the form that we were just doing. This is 의한, which is what we just did before. So the sentence is okay, as it originally was. As I wrote it here, and as I first wrote it down, the problem was I'm teaching this in the wrong section, because right now we were talking about 인하다, not 의하다. And when I started to think about this, I'm like, wait, this is wrong. Something's wrong about this sentence. Everything seems wrong about this simple sentence. But anyway, the translation I gave you is still correct. So if you got it, don't feel confused. You got it. 스트레스에 의한 불면증입니다. This is, okay, when I edit this is going to have to go earlier. Just forget this whole live stream. Just watch the abridged versions, you know. I'm not going to ever delete these full versions, but just know that sometimes the abridged versions are better edited, okay? So, this is insomnia. 의한. This is back to 의한. Due to, or by, from, not as in caused by, well, it could be caused by, but from stress. Or, and what I was trying to say before I got confused and realized I wrote this in the wrong section was that sometimes you can switch this with 의하다, the 인하다 form. You can sometimes switch 인하다 with 의하다 as long as it matches with the meaning. So there are some cases. So, 스트레스로 인한 불면증입니다. It is insomnia that is caused by stress. Or it is insomnia due to stress. Okay, sure. And actually the funny thing is this, I realized I wrote it in the wrong section. At the same time that I was about to say, sometimes these get confused because they can have the same meaning. They sometimes can have the same meaning, but this does not mean you can swap them whenever you want. This doesn't mean you can just say, oh, they're the same thing. I can just switch it out with whatever. No, take this sentence for example, the one we did previously. 동굴에서 실종된 학생 3명이 경찰에 의해 발견됐어요. You wouldn't say 경찰로 인해. They were discovered as a result of the police. As a result of the reason that they got discovered was the police. It sounds a bit awkward because you're just doing a passive sentence that says they were discovered by the police. Were the one who discovered them. You're not saying because of the police they were discovered. Not quite literally anyway. When it's used in a passive sense, no, you would not want to switch. But when it's used in an active sense, yes, it could be switched. Now, the meaning is going to be slightly different, whether you're using 로 인한 or 인하다 or one of those forms, or 의하다. The meaning is going to be slightly different as we learned. The 의하다 is more of like a leaning or relying on, so it could have that meaning. Or the by, something happened by something, as in a passive. But this one is not. This is not a passive. So at times when either one could work, feel free to swap them. But they're both anyway kind of formal forms, so you don't really need to do that most of the time. Okay, I need to take a 30-second break because I totally messed up by giving you guys this sentence at the wrong time. This was supposed to be in the previous section, and I was going to compare it. Yeah, it totally failed. Hopefully, though, no one's going to know this in the abridged version. I'm just going to move it up. It's going to be a regular sentence. You're going to be like, wow, Billy, how do you prepare these lives so perfectly without any mistakes? And I'll be like, well, Bobby, let me tell you. It's magic called editing. Yeah, the sentences I'm telling you are not like wrong sentences, but just this was supposed to be in the previous section where I would then, it was kind of part of my transition where I would then show you how this sentence, how sometimes they can be confused for each other and swapped, but I wrote it down at the bottom of the page, so it got mixed up with the other thing. And then when I wrote it, I realized I wrote it wrong because it was in the wrong section, but no, I actually had written it correctly. So yeah. If you guys were staying here though the whole time, hopefully this makes perfect sense after all of this horrible explanation. But yeah, 스트레스로, the original sentence. Put it back. So, 스트레스에 의한 불면증입니다. So it is stress that is it is insomnia that is due to stress, or it is insomnia caused by stress. Okay. We're not done though. We're not done. Hopefully that was my biggest mess up for today. I hope we don't have any other huge mess ups. That wasn't my biggest mess up ever though, I'll say. I've done bigger mess ups than that in live streams. That's part of the wonderful thing about the live stream is you guys get everything. You get all of the wonderful feedback, interaction, and mistakes too. Billy's a perfectionist like me. I hate when I confuse explaining the lesson to my students. Thank you. Yes. Oh, I'm glad we can still fix it up in the end. But yes, sometimes this happens. Great, James. Thank you. Thanks for the encouragement, Grant. Now I don't feel so bad now. I was gonna just delete my channel. It's all over. Sorry, guys. That live stream was just so terrible. Worst live stream ever. Last live stream ever. That sort of thing. No. Let's do some dabbing. And then we'll move on. Nothing like some good dabs. All right. Okay, so let's move on. But it's okay, it's an advanced stream. Now, actually, our beginner lessons sometimes have this type of typo in it. Anyway, so that was a good explanation of how they can sometimes get confused for each other. Especially when you write them in the wrong area of your outline, and then they really get confused for each other. Okay, there's one more form that I want to do that you can actually swap for 의하면. So let's go back to 의하면. And I said literally this was like according to, so if you're leaning on, if you rely on something, or even if you follow something. So in our previous example, following the weather report from tomorrow it will rain a lot. Following the Korean constitution, relying on the person concerned, or following the testimony of a witness. Those were the sentences we had for 의하면. Well, there's another form you can use with this, and try to take a guess. I'll tell you, the Korean verb for to follow is 따르다. So take a guess in the chat. If you already know this, just don't type it, but take a guess in the chat. There's a form that looks just like this using the Korean verb 따르다, which means to follow. And I said that 의 means to follow or like lean on, sort of like this sense, like you're leaning on someone or you're going with them, you're following with them. There's another form exactly like this with 따르다. Let's see if you guys can guess it. Try to guess it. Beginners don't even know you made a mistake. Ha ha ha. Yes, but anyone intermediate would be like, nah, Billy, I see what you did. Yes, pay one. There we go. Tiffany, stay my day. Nope. That's depending on. That's a different form. Okay. So here we have again noun. 따르면. Quite literally, if you follow noun. Noun 따르면. If you follow noun. And it has the exact same meaning as 의하면. Down to being formal and written as well. This is also a formal written expression. Exact same meaning as 의하면. exact same meaning as 의하면. But now it uses pure Korean because 따르다 is a pure Korean word and 의하다 is a Sino-Korean word, which means it comes from Chinese. So this can be swapped word for word with 의하면. So I could give you a sentence again. 일기예보에 따르면 내일부터 큰 비가 내릴 거예요. 대한민국 헌법 제1조 1항에 따르면 관계자에 따르면 목격자 증언에 따르면 목격자 증언에 따르면. So exactly the same. Following. So just learn that this is an exact swap. Just learn this is an exact equivalent statement with 의하면. Swap it. It's the exact same thing. No difference. If anything, 따르면 has more of like a pure Korean feel. So if you want to have that like, look how much pure Korean I use. I don't use that Sino-Korean, those Sino-Korean words. I'm going to use the pure Korean version. This sounds like a joke, but there are lots of people who think this way. Not to say that people who use this are like bad or anything. I'm just saying this is a different way to say this exact same thing. That's pure Korean. That's it. All right. So I can take some questions. We did finish mostly on time. So I can take some questions. And that is all of the lesson for today. Really quick announcements again is that if you want to get the live stream outline, you can get this on Patreon within 30 minutes after the stream finishes. And the worksheet has another 10 or so advanced level. They're even more advanced than today's lesson. Practice questions that you can do. Translating, there's a few for translating from English into Korean, but most of them are usually translating Korean into English, especially because it's advanced level. It would be really hard to have someone translate from English to Korean without then giving them all of the words they're supposed to use. So yeah, most of it translating from Korean to English. So give it a try. You might be able to do it, but just know it is higher level than what we did today. Just because I usually use lower level for the live streams because I want to be able to explain every word. But the worksheet, you have all the time in the world. So I made it as hard as possible. So yeah, that should be fun if you want some more challenging examples. Yeah. And now we can take some questions. Let me just see if I should, hold on. It's like, why am I so hot in here? It is hot in this room. I got to turn on the air conditioner. I feel hot. It is not hot. It is 77 degrees in here. So I feel hot. I don't know why. I'm always hot in this room. It's just something about being upstairs. Anyone else who lives in a place, like an apartment that's got 2 floors, the upstairs is always hotter than the downstairs. Good. Nice. 의해서 versus 위해서. Zero relation. 위 means for the purpose of something. I have another live stream, 이치드로이드, about 위하다. Check it out. It has a full live stream about that. I think I did a live stream about it. If I didn't, I should do a live stream about it. If I didn't do one, let me know, and I'll do one. But I think I did. The hardest working man in Korean learning. Don't tell Hyunwoo I said that. Oh, yeah, don't tell Hyunwoo. Hyunwoo actually, I think Hyunwoo works really, really hard. I'd say he definitely works harder than me. At least when I knew of his schedule from last year, it was much more packed than mine was. We work in different ways, though. Since he's got a company, I'm just one person, so we can do different things, right? He can do a lot more work than me. I'm jealous. Someday I'll have my own company. Someday I'll hire some employees. The Go Billy Foundation. 수고하셨습니다. 감사합니다, 선생님. Thank you. Yes, thanks for coming. And if you have any Korean questions, now is the time. Billy, hire me. Yes. I'd probably hire, I don't even know. I don't even know who I'd hire. Maybe I'd hire an artist first. Because I need so much like art done all the time. Artist, a publicist. I'll get a publicist, someone to reply to my emails. I get so many emails. And I'm like, people are like, Billy, I just started learning Korean. What should I learn? I'm like, what? Why did you email me? Like, I have videos about this. So I said, I'll send them a link to my video. Or Yeah, get someone who can reply to my dozen emails a day. Did you see the Coma Key Cat? I saw it on Instagram. No, what's that? What's the Coma Key Cat? Oh, Ocean Discovery. Hey, Ocean Discovery. Wow. Ocean Discovery. Why is your name Ocean Discovery? Did you like discover something in the ocean or something? Is it Ocean Discovery? Thank you. Let me let's do a kimchi dab party. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. All right, thank you. Oops, I hope. Okay, I thought I activated again. Someone also said, let's see. Yeah, I want to see the Coma Key Cat. I didn't see it. Oh, hey, Alex Full Metal. Thanks, Alex Full Metal. Alex Full Metal, thank you. Alex. Yeah. Well, if I get like a big donation, I should do like something extra to say thank you. Let me see. Someone also asked a question. How do you use 따위? 따위. Oh yeah, 따위 is used all the time. It's used after a noun. 따위. This is used as a modifier after a noun, means things like, or people like, but it's nouns like that noun that comes before it. So it's noun 따위. You can say like 남자친구 따위. It's something like a boyfriend. Anything like. So it could be anything, something. You could be like, 난 여자친구 따윈 필요 없어. I don't need anything like a girlfriend. I don't need girlfriend or anything like that. And it's used most commonly in casual conversation, though it's not a slang word, but it's more of a it's an informal word. So yeah, that's what it is. And often you'll see use it like 따위는, 따윈, but it doesn't have to be 는. 따위. And often used with 없다, though it doesn't have to be. You'll see most of the time you'll find it using like 따윈, 없다, like I don't even have anything like that or something. Okay. Could be your personal assistant that answers your emails. Yes. Someday I'll have an email, someone who answers my emails. I'll have a manager. But until then, it's all me. What you see is what you get. Isn't it negative? Yeah, most of the time it is. 처럼. No, 처럼 is like, and that's an adverb. So that would be 처럼, something like, but then you have to put the whatever it is like after 처럼. Whereas 따위 is just anything like that. It already has that meaning within it. If you want to say 처럼, then you'd have to use that with something like a adjective after that. So like 나처럼 재밌다. 나처럼 심심하다. 나처럼, or like 피자처럼 맛있는 음식, a food that is delicious. 피자처럼, like pizza, some sort of meaning like that. And I did a live stream about 처럼 as well. You can check out. Do you recommend a resource for learning Hanja? No, because I'm not sure what's out there for learning Hanja. I know Talk to Me in Korean has a Hanja book, but I haven't seen it. But I assume it's good. If they send it to me, I'll show it off on a live stream. But yeah, I don't know what's good material out there for learning Hanja because I didn't learn Hanja recently. I learned Hanja before I learned Korean. So all of the stuff that I used for Hanja was actually through Japanese. So I have a lot of books that I used for learning Japanese kanji, and most of it will transfer over into Hanja. So that's where I got a lot of my Hanja knowledge, is from Japanese originally. And then beyond that was just using a dictionary for additional stuff. I would just look it up in the dictionary, the one I wanted, and look at the meaning, and then yeah, like that. So I'm not sure a good resource for that. But yeah, if you have one, a good one for Korean, let me know. And then my favorite book, which you can't buy it. They don't even sell it anymore. You don't have to buy this one, though. You can buy any one. I have this book also for Hanja. You can just get a book. If you search Hanja book, you'll find lots of books like this. They just have the way the original word that it meant. So here we have let's see, let's find an example. Okay, here's the hanja for 견. 견. Top here, 견. So a dog, a pet, the word for a pet, like a pet dog is 애완견. 애완견. And any sort of pet in general is 애완동물. But 애완견 is a pet dog. And it talks about the character for 견. And it says 개가 앞발을 들고 주인을 반기는 모습. So the image of a dog that has put its first foot forward and going down kind of like this to its owner. So that's the original image of a dog, and it shows how the character progressed from its original image, you know, here from a dog, putting its foot forward, you know, like that. And it shows what it means. So you can kind of like get, oh, I see, that's why it's a dog. And this kind of stuff's just cute, but you can learn more about other types of characters, like why it exactly looks that way, or like exactly what that character means, like the literal meaning of that character. And sometimes that can really help you understand what a character means when you see it in other combinations. Because like you might learn, oh, this character, 력, means power. But I don't understand this usage here. Why is it used like this in this meaning? So yeah, like that type of thing. But then if you know the actual original meaning, that sometimes can help give you a little bit more insight into how that character is being used in that word to have that meaning. So yeah, I recommend everyone learns hanja in some way. You don't have to learn how to write it or how to read it, but just learn that the characters' names, like how they're read. Oh, I got a donation. Oh, Chris O. Hey, Chris O. Wow. Gotten a lot of donations today. This is great. This already pays for my internet this month. I upgraded my internet. Since upgrading a couple months ago, we've been much better. We haven't had any internet problems, including live streaming, which is great. Okay. This one's to Chris O. I salute you. Thank you, Chris O. Okay, that's like really long. Goes on for like a minute. Ocean Discover, I have a quick question. Can you explain the word 모습 and how to use it properly in a compliment? 모습 is, well, okay, it's basically a regular noun that just means the appearance of something. Or a look, the way something looks, as in that sense. Not like the word appearance or look, like, oh, you look good today. Not that sort of look. But a person, the way that something looks. Now, that's not very helpful, just to know that. But this is used as a modifying piece that let's say, a noun that comes after an adjective. Now, this adjective can be descriptive verb or action verb, and it means somebody doing something. The look of somebody doing something, or and I would have to give you some more examples so you could see it. It's super common though, to see somebody or literally the look of someone doing something. So like 철수가 울고 있다, to cry. So 철수가 울고 있는 모습을 봤다. Literally, I saw the appearance, I saw the figure, whatever. I saw the look of 철수 crying. That's how you say, I saw 철수 crying. You wouldn't say 철수가 울고 있는 것을 봤다. That literally would mean I saw 철수 crying. But if you're talking about something that a person is doing, you use 모습. Literally, it's I saw the look, the appearance of whatever they did. So you might say like, oh, I don't want to see other people see me cry. 내가 울고 있는 모습 보여주기 싫어. Like, I don't want to show my appearance of crying. The way that I look when the way noun person, the way noun looks when they do the action verb. So I don't want to see other people look at me I don't want other people to see what I look like when I adverb. That's the sort of usage it's in. And I would have to do a live stream about this because there's lots of cases where you see it used, but that's the general meaning. If I had a live stream, I could do a lot more about that. Maybe we could do that as a new topic. It's a pretty big intermediate topic. Yeah, very common though. Don't say it. Are you talking about 철수? Oh, don't say I see. Well, it's okay. I was crossing both my fingers. I know it can still have outages and stuff. So, all adjective words end with ta. Unconjugated, yes. Every descriptive verb. If you're talking about descriptive verb, yes. But adjective is a different word. Adjective is an English concept, not really a Korean concept. Tato is not a formal written form. That's the difference. Also, 의하면, like we learned, has many forms. 의해서, 의한, 의하면. Tato is just as it is. And also, tato has the other usages that we learned too. Tato had 3 different uses, if I recall. I did a live stream, Ichi. Check out my live streams, definitely, because this question and your last one, I also already did a live stream about. So check out tato, and you can learn how that one's used. So it's not the same. If you're talking about just using it to mean according to, well then yes, but that's only one of its uses. A dictionary, yes. Naver. Naver is my favorite dictionary for information. Now, I will say the app is a little bit buggy, and people who, all of you who follow my gaming channel will know that the app is very buggy from time to time. But the actual dictionary's information itself is wonderful. It has everything, practically everything. If it doesn't have it in English, it always has it in Korean. It has pronunciation for like almost every single word. Yeah, it's great. Naver Dictionary. Also, Taum Dictionary is really good too. Less stuff than Naver, but some people prefer it. They think it's a little easier to use. So yeah, either one. But I would never recommend any translator. They're all flawed. None of them are worth using for a student, for someone who's trying to study Korean. I would only use a translator if you have no interest in learning Korean. Yeah, if you want to sound impersonal like a robot, use Google Translate. But also you'll sound rude in Korean if you use Google Translate, because it does give a lot of rude sentences. Not just like wrong, but actually rude. Yeah, the wrong politeness level. And then Papago, as people call it, it's actually the same as Naver Translate. Naver Translate has a feature that gives more polite versions. It's wrong too. It also does not make the sentence polite. It's better than nothing, but it's not, you can't trust it to be polite either. Oh, Zilly. Hey, Zilly. How long you been here? I didn't notice you. Okay, any other questions? I'll take questions for just 3 more minutes. And then we'll go for today. And yeah, if you want some more practice with today's topic, please get the worksheet. There are a lot of sentences on there you can practice with. From the beginning. Does ke have more meanings than that? Yes, it does. Ke has a lot of meanings. But basically it's that. And in literal translations for textbooks only, or for when someone's trying to be purposely vague, you'll see ke used to mean he. But that's not a regular usage. Yeah, otherwise it's just an adjective meaning, well, I shouldn't even say adjective. Yeah, it is a modifier, a noun modifier. That means that. I could really need a class on 가지고. What about 가지고? I probably have a lesson about it already. I'm also going to be posting a lesson about 가지고 on my new video course, but that'll be a few weeks away. That's not going to be yet. Do you recommend a specific podcast? No, but if you go to Patbang, now it's okay. The Patbang got removed from the Google store a while back, but now it's back. Patbang, you can search anything on there. I sometimes listen to, they had a few like horror broadcasts. They would just read horror stories. They have a bunch of talk shows. Just pick anything. Type in a subject you're interested in. Golf, music, game, whatever. They even have a couple for Korean, but I'm not sure if those ones are actually in Korean. I think they might do those in English. Yeah, any interest, type it in, find a podcast. There'll be multiple ones. Watch them. They're all going to be good. Because the podcast, the nice thing is that they always speak very clearly because they know you can't see them. They know you're just listening. So very clear, nice voices. Next live Korean class on Sunday. Lauren, you asked about improving on speaking. I think the answer is you have to speak more. Yes. You can even speak out loud to yourself and record it. Yeah, that's one way. If you want to see, am I pronouncing something kind of okay, is record it and play it back to yourself. And it'll sound really cringy, maybe. And you'll think, wow, I'm saying it so wrong. It doesn't sound right. Yeah, that kind of can help. I mean, you don't have to show it to other people, but just kind of listening to yourself talking in Korean can help you to understand, like, what do I really sound like in Korean? And at least give you some kind of advice on how to fix your pronunciation a little bit. And then after you've done that for a while, you get more used to hearing your own voice, then you won't need to record yourself again. You can just by talking, you know how you sound. Like for me, I'm so used to hearing my own voice because I do video editing and stuff all the time. So for me, I don't have to record myself. If I want to know if I'm saying something correctly, I can just listen to myself talk right now and see, oh, do I sound okay? Does this sound weird? Did I say it correctly? Oh, okay, I think I said it okay. And when I'm talking with you guys and I say something weird, I know it right away. Like, oh wait, I said that wrong. Like for the other example we had for 전상망. I was like, 전상망. It just sounded weird every time I said it. And then I looked, it's like, oh yeah, 전산망 for that. Okay. Let's see, one last question. What type of vocabulary should I start with? Family members or my room or food or what? Chocolate banana. You don't want to start with vocabulary ever. You always want to start with grammar because you can know vocabulary, but how are you going to use vocabulary? Like if you learn all the words for family members, brother, sister, someone else's son, someone else's mother-in-law, all these terms, how are you going to use it? What are you going to say? Just nice to meet you and then their name, nice to meet you and then their title, and like, you want to be able to talk with them. Like, did you meet them for dinner, right? Did you hang out with them? When was the last time that you saw your great-grandmother? Stuff like that. You need the grammar to do that. The vocabulary will come. You'll get the vocabulary as you're learning the grammar, but I would never start with learning vocabulary because it's useless without grammar. And even until you've learned a really good deal of grammar, you really can't use vocabulary very much. So like you might think like, oh, I know how to say like, give me this. Well, now I better learn every noun in existence so I can ask for it. No, you're not going to be able to say, you're not going to need to say, give me the computer network system, right? Like 전산망. You're not going to need to say the computer network. Like you don't need that type of word if you're only learning how to say, please give me. You don't need to say door. Please give me the door, right? You would never see that. You want to learn like menu. Please give me the salt or pepper. Please give me the salt. Korea doesn't even have pepper on the table. So 소금 주세요, right? 물 주세요. 메뉴판 주세요. Good, you're done, right? Learn the next grammar form. You'll be able to fill in vocabulary later as you go. But until you actually have a base of grammar, you can't even use any other words. Like you can say door, right? Super basic word, 문. What are you going to say about the door? Open the door. 문을 열었어요. When are you going to say, I opened the door to anyone? Ever. It never. You would say, I opened the door for you. The door is open, but that's a different grammar form than just saying 열었어요. 열어놨어요. I left the door open for you. 문이 열려 있어요. The door is open. That's how you'd use it, but that's not basic grammar. You would use 놓다, 열어놓다. You'd learn that a little bit later. Hi, beginner. As well as 열려 있다, passive voice. This is like, you need this later grammar even for the most basic words. Unless you're going to point and say, 문이에요. 저것은 문이에요. That is a door. Like, sure, it's not going to hurt you to know it, but don't go out of your way to learn useless vocabulary until you can actually use it. Then it's useful. When you learn the grammar that you can use it, learn words that you can actually use. And in situations that you'd actually use them. And that's not going to be in the beginning level. So really, you don't have to worry about vocabulary in the beginning level. Just worry about the grammar. Can you use the grammar? Can you understand the grammar? If you want to say a sentence, then learn that vocabulary you need for that sentence, that specific sentence. But don't just go learning lists of vocabulary because it's not going to be, you'll forget it. You won't be able to use it. Your time would be better spent learning grammar than trying to learn a bunch of vocabulary words that you can't use. Okay. Please give me this. Yeah, that's right. As long as it's something that you can use. As long as it's something you can use, learn it. But don't go out of your way. And I did this. I spent weeks, like several hours a day of my first few weeks when I was studying Korean, learning pointless vocabulary words because I thought it would make my Korean better. when I should have just been focusing on the grammar. Because all of those words I learned in the beginning, eventually I went back and learned them. But at the time, I wasn't able to say it, like things like 나무통, like a tree trunk. But I couldn't even introduce myself properly. When am I going to say tree trunk? How can I say, how would I even use that? I saw a tree trunk? Like, I was so beginner, I couldn't use it. Whiteboard? I don't even know any of these words. 조명, light? Like, you don't need any of these things. Just learn the, what is it, like, 연등, like, you know, the Chinese light ball, the, what do you call it? Those circular balls. I have some in my room. I use them for filming. Or like a fan. Like, what are you going to use these for? Like, use the words that you can use. They say, learn the words that you can use and don't worry about other ones. If you pick them up, sure, but don't go out of your way. Okay, that's the end of my rant. Yes, learning without context is not helpful to you. It's not going to hurt you, but you could use your time better. So, yes, thank you everyone for coming. Yes, a tree trunk is on the first page of my notebook. The very first page of my notebook. Tree trunk. Why? I couldn't use it. It was right next to, like, my name is, right? 제 이름은 빌리예요. And then right after that, 나무통. What? Why? I can't use it. I think I was reading like a short story or something and just writing down every word I didn't know. And it's fine, but I actually also then tried to study those words, which is, yeah, it's just a waste of my time. Anyway, yeah. So make sure to get the outline. You can get that on Patreon within the next 30 minutes. Thank you everyone for coming, and I'll see you guys again next time. Now I'm gotta go and enjoy the rest of this wonderful day in this park where nobody's at, which is nice, just me. Thank you again to today's donators. Gabriella, Jims, Grandpa Mikey, Becca, our new member, as well as Becca, a very new Patreon as well. Lynn, Carrie, Jims, Ocean Discovery, Alex Full Metal, and Chris. 그럼 다음에 또 봐. Let's just move my board out of the way. Let's just have a nice walk down here. Let's have a nice walk. Just taking a nice walk. See you guys. See ya.